So you mentioned something I want to dig into before we move on. You mentioned the conversation before the meeting and influencing before the meeting.
Mhm.
Can you share any tips? So that doesn't come naturally to me, and it's
Yeah.
definitely something that I'm working on. I know I'm not alone. Can you share tips for the rest of us that maybe are working toward that? Any way?
Yeah.
How would you do that?
Yeah. I haven't had to do it in a while because usually the people that now are in my room, like they're already in the same page. So it makes it easier. But a lot of it has to do with me giving a call or reaching out.
Mhm.
I do a good job of trying to build rapport. As soon as I land in a role, I'm like, and I've been in this role for this current role I'm in now for a year, and I build rapport quickly. So I try to figure out, okay, I share a lot about myself right away so people can open up and share about them as well. And I find things in common and I build rapport with them, with those teams. When I'm trying to move the needle on certain things, the first thing I do is I get what their perspective is on a particular topic. So
Yeah.
when I call them offline, I'm like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? I don't start with my agenda. And when they start giving me their thoughts, then I capture the parts in which my agenda matches theirs before the meeting. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna talk about this. So I mean, and I let them know I don't need you to like break the room and like go advocate for me. But when I say something, can you bring your concerns up? Because that way it can help solve both of our issues. And that way the agendas align before we get into the meeting. And the more people I bring in, and this happened a lot, with many, and I bring in, and this sounds terrible, but it's the truth, I bring male leaders along with me
Mm.
because sometimes that, or someone that they have a different perspective on, or I figure out who has the largest voice in the room before I come in. And then that person I reeled in before the meeting so I can sell in those topics. But it takes time. For me and my strengths, I'm a relator. So if I don't have a strong relationship with someone, it's really hard for me to make those phone calls. So
Yeah.
I have to find people in that room that I have relationships with that can help, but I also have to be careful, and I'm still working on it, of is that person have a loud enough voice in the room to help me push for the agenda that I need.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's such great advice.